Mini lesson number 2, we're going to make a kaleidoscope. And so what I want you to do is go to Google, find a new image, copy it, and then bring it into Photoshop. So I've already copied an image, file, new, can be the same size. Once you copy something, it makes a document the same size. We'll create and edit, paste. Find something too, by the way, that is geometric. Find something that is a building or a tree. It'll just look nice for this. The reason we're making a kaleidoscope is so that you understand layers, how to have a few different layers, and then also how to rotate things. There's a lot of different ways to rotate things in Photoshop. So let's do what it says. So number 1, it says go to select. So there's a lot of different ways to make selections. We want to select all. And then the document says go to edit copy. We're going to go to file, new. So we're going to make another document. So we're going to have 2 of them. Create and edit, paste. So again, we'll notice I have a document here, and if I click this one, it looks exactly the same. So we have 2 of them. On number 2, it says go to image, canvas size. So this is how we make our size of our canvas larger. And it says to double the width and height. So whatever numbers that you see here, you can just round up. We just need a bigger workspace. So I'm just more than doubling. And again, I can zoom out. If I use the magnifying glass, I can click to zoom in, and if I hold the Alt key, I can click to zoom out. So we've doubled the height and width of our document. Number 3 says go to edit, paste, another image onto the canvas. So if I use my move tool right here, the arrow, I can click and drag, and I notice that I have 2 of these on the same document. And we'll also see that on our layers right here. So you can turn off layers by clicking the little eye or turn it back on. I can select layers in a few different ways. I can either click it and I'm working with layer 1, and click this and I'm working with layer 2. I can right click and I can pick whichever layer it is that I want to work with. So that's another way to select things. But set them up like this. Put this one here and put this one here where they would just kind of touch. All right, now on number 3, after we pasted the other one, it says push the Control and T key on the keyboard. So I'm going to hold the Control key on the keyboard, and then I'm going to click T and let go. And I notice that I have this box. So again, I held the Control key and then I press T and let go, and it gives me this dialog. And I notice that my cursor changes based on where it's at. So if I have it outside, I can just click and drag it around. Or if I hold the Shift key when I'm on the outside of it and I click and drag while I'm holding the Shift key, it snaps and flips it over. And to apply, just double click. So what we have here now is we have our original, and then we have another one that we just flipped over. So there's other ways to rotate things, but this is a pretty manual way, and it's good to know. Control T. We use Control T a lot in Photoshop. Number 4 says edit, paste, a third one on the document. So here it is, and I'm going to just drag it into place. And you can use the arrow keys too to kind of bump things around, as well as drag images. So another way to flip things is to do this. We're going to go to edit, transform, and you can flip things around how you want to as well. So Control T is one way, and edit, transform is another. And so we're going to flip this one horizontally. So we're going to flip it like a mirror. Here we go. And then I can just use the arrow key to just bump that over. So I flipped it horizontally like a mirror. And then it says edit, paste on another one. I'm going to move this one into place. So there's a few different ways we can flip this one. We can also go to edit, transform, and flip it horizontally. But we also need to rotate it over. So Control T. And then while holding the shift key, we're going to flip it upside down and double click to apply. So now I have a kaleidoscope. I can zoom in, looks very nice, and can kind of move some of these over till they actually are perfect. There we go. I'm just using the arrow keys, and I'm also right clicking to select the appropriate layer, and I can see that this lines up nicely now. And it looks really cool. So the last thing we have to do is just crop our picture. So find the crop tool, it's right here. A lot of times it constrains values. You can put it in what you want, so I can just delete those, and it'll just be a freehand way of kind of cropping it how I want. So I'm just finding the area that I want to keep and double click to apply. And so now I have a kaleidoscope. And the point of doing this again is to learn how to rotate and flip imagery in Photoshop. And secondly, again, you notice now we've got a little stack of layers here. So you can turn on and off layers like I mentioned. You can rearrange layers. I can drag one up or one down. Whatever's on top is in the front, and whatever's on the bottom is in the back. So last thing we want to do is go to File, Save As, and save this. So again, about file types. A JPEG will flatten this image. It's a finished picture. We can send it off to be printed. All our layers are going to become one layer. We can't come back to it and edit it. This may or may not be what we want. We save as a Photoshop document. It'll keep our layers. We can open it back up and continue to work on it or edit it. It just depends on what you're trying to do. I'm done. This is good. I'm going to save it as a JPEG, the highest maximum quality that I can. And that concludes how to make a kaleidoscope, but more importantly, how to rotate elements and a little bit about layers.